Hello everyone, and now welcome to game 1 in a series between WFZ, and Jupiter. WFZ spawning as the red undead player here at what I'll call the 11 o'clock position. Meanwhile, Jupiter spawning as the orange orc in this orc versus undead matchup. Now, it really feels like I've been casting a lot of games of undead lately, and that really is a change in the meta. And in days of old, I would remember casting countless of human games, though Yumiko, Samdan, all of those players seem to not be really part of the professional scene any longer, at least not in the replays that I'm able to get a hold of. So really curious about that, but let's go ahead and focus on what's going down in this orc versus undead matchup anyways. So yes, the games are evolving, the games are changing, and someone had once asked me, are these games old or new? I believe this particular game was played on the 13th of January, depending on how you are watching this video through the magic of the internet. That could be relatively close, or you know, in the recent past, or it could be years and years ago. Anyways, for me, it's been 3 days as we're now looking at this peon scouting out the undead position. Now, he doesn't have to go all the way forward. He just needed to see where the blight was if he wanted to know where his opponent really was. Instead, he's actually going to walk all the way in, and not quite sure why he would do such a thing. He's actually going to end up coming inside here. He's going to take a look, notice that his opponent has already started setting down the Tomb of Relics, the Ziggurat, and this final Ziggurat here, to know that the Blade Master is not going to be able to harass the acolytes. Surprisingly, though, is that the Death Knight is very far behind. Yes, I understand that that WFZ had gone for a graveyard for Crypt Fiend opening, but the timing on this is that this Death Knight will be out sometime around the 2:30 to 2:45 mark. That's going to give plenty of time for the Blade Master to do his shopping and do his things. This is going to become rather dangerous in just a moment, as we're taking a look at a grunt here, taking a look and still noticing that there is still no hero out on the field. Blade Master going to clear out this Ogre Magi, pick up an item, get a Watcher Ward, all before the Death Knight even makes his first appearance. Alright, Blade Master quickly running away, picking up Boots of Speed, not having to purchase them, and now he should be heading back over here, grabbing that Voodoo Lounge, and as long as the Death Knight doesn't come around the corner with a quick Death Coil, the Blade Master will be very much ahead. Blade Master buying those healing salves. There we go. Buying up a healing salve, and now we're going to go ahead and creep out this 411 creep camp. Meanwhile, Death Knight on the other side of the map, clearing out the 3322 creep camp, gonna be grabbing in some extra items, and both sides just really playing to the particular strategy that they wanted. No big surprises anywhere that I've seen. Blade Master now picks up that second healing salve, decides not to sell the Slippers of Agility, as that extra +3 damage and plus 0.9 armor is very helpful. Alright, Blade Master gonna run in and perhaps catch a unit or two, but no, all of the damage was pretty much absorbed by those skeletal minions, so very nicely done, as the Blade Master not gonna be able to really do anything except for break, wind walk, and get some damage onto the Blade Master. Or excuse me, the Death Knight from the Blade Master. Death Knight now making its way back here. The Crypt Fiends hoping to clear out some creep camps, but no, the Blade Master doing a good job stealing a little bit of experience, as the Death Knight is still sitting at level 1. While the Death Knight is at level 1, it's not gonna be able to grab that Unholy Aura. There it is, now finally getting to level 2, grabbing that Unholy Aura. Now, Blade Master unable to get that steal, as the Death Knight now wanders back to the right. Alright, we should be looking at a tech to tier 2. There is the Stronghold, there is the Halls of the Dead, and both sides Both sides teching the tier 2. We should be expecting raiders coming in from the stronghold, and no surprise, the orc is actually further ahead in terms of tech. Because of the heavier investment in that graveyard and training of those crypt fiends, there was a significant or a lesser number of lumber gathered, and that is going to end up what is holding back the undead from getting that lich for frost armor, and also more importantly obsidian statues. Blade Master is still running around in circles trying to take down some of these units. The Death Knight should be able to get a death coil off to save a unit here. There it goes. There is that death coil, but it didn't really look like it did very much, as a 94 hit point critical strike really took a large chunk of life off of that Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend now running all the way back here. Crypt Fiend now running back here. We are looking in a little bit of a retreat, but Jupiter looks like he is absolutely playing a stupendous game here, making sure and controlling the tempo of this game, while WFZ is going to be forced to retreat all the way back home. Where is the tech to tier 2? There we go. There is that Shadow Hunter. Very important for those healing waves, and that Hex, the perfect support hero for that Blade Master, as the Blade Master now being forced to break Windwalk and go after some Crypt Fiends. Crypt Fiends taking a little bit of damage there, nothing Unholy Aura and a Death Coil cannot take care of, as the Grunts are now retreating back. Now, the timing on this is that we are going for a Bestiary and that Spirit Lodge, both of them being built at the same time. Now, I am surprised that the Undead did not try to pressure with his Crypt Fiends while these two buildings were under construction. That is an often common strategy to try and delay tech, as the Crypt Fiends have rather long range and do piercing damage, which does bonus damage as long as the building is not yet completed. Now we're going to see that the Death Knight is even further behind. He is getting that Slaughterhouse, and he is getting that Lich, but it's maybe a little bit too late in terms of timing. It really feels like Jupiter has pulled out ahead with a good combination of units and tech, and as soon as he gets those Raiders and a Spirit Walker or two, he's going to be fine. Now here comes the big question. Is the Death Knight going to be able to delay the game long enough to completely nullify those Spirit Walkers? As long as your opponent is able, or as long as the Orc player is able to get down a whole bunch of Spirit Link to really spread apart all of that damage, no amount of focus fire from these ranged Crypt Fiends will effectively take down any units. Shadow Hunter sitting at level 1. Blade Master now going after some other units. There is the Windwalk. May decide to pick up a pendant. Yes, there it goes. Sells another item. The Gauntlets of Ogre Strength needs to heal up, as we now see a strong attack coming in here. Alright, all of a sudden things have been turned around. Crypt Fiends using their superior range, now going after the Orc Burrow. You can see Ziggurats are being trained up as well, and what is happening here, the peons were not being brought over enough, and now we see supply blocking. WFZ really putting the pressure, knowing that he needs to finish this game, and in a hurry he can, or WFZ knowing that he needs to put pressure on this game, not finish it, just put pressure on this game to make sure that even if the game does go long, he is not going to fall behind in terms of tech. You can see one Ziggurat is about completed, or about halfway done, as we're now looking at the Obsidian statue being brought over. All right, a bit of Spirit Link, just mitigating a whole bunch of damage, and now we see the Blade Master getting up to level 3. Frost Armor really slowing things down for that Blade Master, as the Blade Master is trying to go after some of these units. All right, Ziggurat taking a fair bit of damage, and this is just absorbing damage from a Blade Master, which will end up being cancelled anyways. Not altogether that useful. There goes the Voodoo Lounge again, and Jupiter, who looked like he had such a strong lead, ends up, looks like he's now on the ropes by WFZ. WFZ has timed this attack similar to, I believe, Ted's 2013 Tier 2 push without catapults. Instead, just pushing with one Obsidian statue and a whole bunch of Tier 1 units, and it actually looks like it may work. Death Knight is going to try and get off a Death Coil. No, the Blade Master is too well behind the enemy lines there, and with that Spirit Link, he would have ended up surviving anyways. However, the Crypt Fiends, the Obsidian statues, are making a very, very strong presence. The Obsidian statues, now along with another friend, to perhaps replenish up some mana as well. Skeletal minions now starting to push into the backfield, and I believe this is going to be the game. Blade Master going up against the Death Knight. Death Knight gets a Death Coil off and finally takes down the unit. The Blade Master was already at level 3, and the Death Knight just got there. All right, so it was no surprise. It really felt like Jupiter had the advantage. You can take a look at the hero score. You can take a look at the units, and really, if you were to look at it, the score of Jupiter was probably much higher 2 minutes prior to that last fight. But WFZ taking that timing and able to really push on it and do a whole bunch of damage, turn things around. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1. Please stay tuned for game number 2.